I wanted a podcast about films.
Films?
Movies, then. It's a more broadly recognised term.
Let's not get into all that again. Which films?
Well, just one for now.
Is it Kick-Ass?
It is!
The episode we've just recorded. What a coincidence.
Indeed. You happy with it?
Mostly.
Mostly.
Well, the game was a low point, but the episode is fairly zippy.
I enjoyed getting stuck into Big Daddy.
Your Big Daddy issues.
Yeah. What was your high point?
I quite enjoyed talking about De Niro and Pacino.
Oh, did we mention Heat?
No. Pacino.
Righteous Kill?
Never mind.
All right. Play the tape. Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where an annoying pair of idiots haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon, and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, where we'll be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can movie the needle for one another. This week, it's our first comic book movie as we tackle the 2010 Matthew Vaughn directed, Aaron Taylor Johnson starring film, based on Mark Millar's graphic novel of the same name. Gore and questionable parenting ensues. It's Kick-Ass!
You're really not letting that go, are you?
I mean, I do copy and paste from one episode to the next, so part of it's
Is
laziness.
that the reason you've said it again?
I mean, I'm not letting it go, but that's not the reason why it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's part laziness as well. So, but there we go.
I mean, I imagine people that dropped those insults won't be tuning back in. But
Well, no.
imagine if they did, and how rent-free they're living.
yeah. Well, that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like you're okay with it.
Well, no, I'm not. But you know, I'm fine to fake it. It was the boy's birthday this weekend.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did see that.
We went to Arcade Club.
Oh, yeah. I think you've been there before, haven't you?
Yeah. Have you been there before?
No, but you did recommend it.
Yeah. Well worth it. I mean, if nothing else, the beer's cheap, the food's cheap.
Oh, fucking beer.
Under £4 a pint.
What time is it open?
Yeah, like 11.
No, I do have to work tomorrow. Yeah,
They've got Wi-Fi.
Yes.
It's great though. I mean, like, it's just to go there. It is the place where time disappears though.
Oh,
We
yeah.
went in there at 11. I looked at my watch. It was 2. It was like, I better eat something.
Yeah.
Finish that. Go back in. Look at your watch. Oh, it's 5:30.
Yeah,
6
yeah.
o'clock. Jesus Christ. What happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, great fun. What have you been up to?
Not very much, really. God, what did we do this weekend? I think it was just one of those weekends that just got away from us, really. Just doing bits and pieces, odd jobs, running errands, all that sort of stuff. And
All
then,
the fun stuff.
yeah, and it's...
Have you been watching movies?
I have watched some movies, yeah. I've also had, would you call it pod feedback? No, I guess I was just talking to a listener. He knows who he is. And so will everybody else when I finish the story. About the pod, and he was just showing his lovely wife Kate the clips that had made it on of the quiz that he sent in.
Oh, excellent. Yep.
And obviously we had some nice things to say about her voice, which
I'm sure she appreciated.
Johnny said she was very bashful about. It's a lovely voice though. So yeah, maybe we could make that a regular segment.
Yeah.
Just like send like, ooh, insult
Just
us
get
in
the
Polish,
voice.
couldn't you? Like, ooh,
I won't do the intro anymore. I'll just get her to do it in Polish.
yeah, all bad words. Ooh, yeah.
Love it.
So yeah, that was fun. I've got a thing to talk about. I've got 2 things we can talk about. Maybe we'll do one here and we'll do one in the data, but they're kind of both.
You realise you're saying this out loud. You can
It's on air
Okay,
admin.
that's fine.
It's on air admin. It's fine. They're both kind of data related. We might end up actually turning the data section into data. That'd be quite cool.
Okay.
The first idea I'm kicking around is the idea of classics.
Right.
Right. People throw it around. Oh, that's a classic. That film. And I thought it might be quite fun for us to come up with a sort of a movie the needle set of classics.
Okay. So as we come across them naturally,
I was thinking more like maybe we'll propose one each week, like both of us, and then we'll just build up a sort of.
You know what this episode needs and this podcast? Just more content to make it longer.
Yeah. It's not long enough. That's
That's what people are always saying.
I mean, it should be well suited to this episode because we've spoiler alert, potentially don't have too much to talk about with this film. So.
We've said this before, though.
That's true. And then boom, 2 hours late.
But no, I like the idea.
So the one that triggered it for me was Point Break when I watched Point Break the other week.
Yeah.
And I thought that is a classic. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best film. In the
we
world,
might have to just have a little bit of a discussion of what classic means, just so we're both clear, and so the listeners are clear as well, so they don't write angry letters.
They'll call us idiots again.
But it's fine. It's opinion. Fuck you.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that sort of develops, but maybe we can work that into the data section somehow. What about you? You been up to anything besides the boy's birthday?
No, not up to too much. As I say, that took up a whole day in about 12 seconds that it took.
Say fun though. Well, before we talk about films, then,
okay,
I just want to talk about Die Hard 2.
Yes.
I want to double down.
Okay, have you rewatched?
I haven't rewatched.
Okay,
I'm going to rewatch, but as we know, we've got a few different threads of films we're trying to get through. I have listened to a podcast that talked about Die Hard 2.
Okay,
and they were singing its praises and going through what a solid action movie it is.
Mm-hmm.
So to your mate Alid, I think it was.
It was Alid, yeah.
You don't back down, double down, because
did they say it was the best when they were talking about it? Okay,
no,
they said it was good.
Yeah,
right.
But there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Other people might think differently. That's fine, but there's nothing to beat you with here. Die Hard 2 is a fine movie.
What about if he also said that Die Hard 4 was better than the first Die Hard?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Has he actually said that?
I don't know. It seems like something you might say, though.
No. Nobody thinks that, really, do they?
I'll follow up.
Surely not. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean...
if he says that, I'll change my favourite.
Okay, fine.
All right, films then.
Yes. So I saw... I'm making a bit of a concerted effort to watch more new films so that I don't get myself in the place that I'm getting myself in this year. I'm going, shit, I haven't watched anything from 2024.
Yeah.
So it's now 2025.
Yep.
And I watched Better Man.
Yep.
The Robbie Williams musical biopic. Now, am I thinking that this is going to be Oscar worthy next year? Or even this year? Is it be eligible this year? I don't even know. Maybe. But anyway.
They'd have had to have lobbied the Academy, and then they'd have done it on like projected sort of, I don't know, saying we're going to be showing it in these
they'll have to have like a one showing, won't they, to make it viable.
So I don't know.
But anyway, I had quite a lot of fun with it. Great choice making the protagonist a chimp rather than being a Robbie Williams lookalike. Distinguish it from the crowd of other little musical biopics.
I also think I know exactly why that is now.
What?
Why
the chimp thing?
Why they've done the chimp thing. And it's because I've seen a Mad Men meme.
A Mad Men meme?
Now, I know you haven't seen Mad Men.
No.
But there's been a big backlash to Better Man from Americans.
Right.
Saying, because they don't know who Robbie Williams is.
Don't understand any of it.
They don't have a clue who Robbie Williams is.
No.
And the Mad Men meme, which anybody who has seen it will understand, say that's what the monkey is for.
Ah, gotcha.
So it's like, we can't put him in. Nobody knows. But if we put a monkey in, it's just a monkey in it. Could be anyone. It's just fun. I mean, different.
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously being British and growing up at a time when Robbie Williams was a thing.
Yeah, big thing.
Yeah, it kind of there was bits like oh yeah, but yeah, I reckon you would lose a fair bit not knowing anything about the backstory as well. Okay. But I did, so fuck you. It's a pretty honest portrayal as well. Manages to be a bit moving, a bit funny, a little shocking at times. Some good musical dance numbers in. I mean, it's Robbie Williams' music, unfortunately, but it's some good musical and dance numbers in there. I know that's your thing.
Yeah, he's got a couple of decent songs there.
Yeah, it's got a slightly problematic ending. Takes off shine for me, but I enjoyed it.
Does he touch children?
No, not that problematic.
Beats women?
Okay, not problematic, just not good.
All right.
But seems to reflect reality, so you kind of like...
Okay.
Doesn't really serve the story quite as well, but there we go. What else have you seen? Or what have you seen?
Well, on biopics. Biopic or biopic?
I mean, bio.
I've seen some discourse about that as well.
Biopic.
Yeah, I think I say biopic most of the time.
Opics.
It's not a biography. No, I'm on biography. Ooh, biography.
Yeah, but it's a biopic.
Ah, maybe it is biopic.
Maybe you're saying biography wrong. Maybe it's biography.
Biography. Yeah. In the biopic, the biography of it. Anyway, speaking of those sorts of films, Mank.
Oh, yes, I've got that to watch. That was between that and Minari this week, and I went Minari instead.
Yeah, Minari's much better than Mank. Yeah, that was a tough watch, Mank.
We'll talk about that more
Yeah.
in the future, won't we? So we don't have to go into detail.
Following on from our Weddings podcast last week.
Weddings, yes.
I, in a bid to appear interesting...
For a Christmas trip again.
No, I'm afraid that part of my personality has died for 11 months.
Yeah.
No, in a bid to appear interesting, I said that my third favourite Hugh Grant film was Extreme Measures.
Oh, right, yeah. Did you rewatch it?
I did rewatch it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was quite fun.
Okay.
It's not, great, but it feels a couple of hours. Quite enjoyed it. And then one I think you might have some rather more stronger opinions on.
Oh, go on.
Marriage Story.
Oh, you watched Marriage Story?
Yes.
And you...
Well, we can definitely talk about it in the podcast.
What, in the future or just as in
In
an
the future.
episode?
Yeah, in an episode.
Really?
Yeah, because you gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, your 5 stars means you loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a decent movie. It's got its flaws, but I thought it was a decent movie. It's not one of those where I go, I hate it and it's shit.
Good, because they make terrible episodes.
Yeah, they do, don't they? But I really didn't like it.
Oh, really?
So we can definitely talk about that one.
Oh, great. I watched Conclave.
Who's in that one?
Rafe.
Oh, yeah.
Rafe Fiennes.
Yeah.
Tucci, Stanley Tucci.
Oh, yeah.
He's in it, yeah. It's basically 12 Angry Men written by Dan Brown.
Oh, God. So a worse 12 Angry Men, then.
Worst 12 Angry Men, but you like Dan Brown movies, so,
Well, yes.
You know.
Yeah. I have a horrible feeling that we are going to. We could rewatch those and
Yeah, it could be...
I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not 20 years old anymore.
Again, though, I did have quite a lot of fun with it. It's the kind of trashy, pulpy movie dressed up as something more serious.
Which, to be fair, is how I remember most of those Dan Brown things as well. So
Yeah, quality actors, dramatic score. Gets, I can get a real boner for those kind of films.
fair enough.
But it was like watching a long episode of Traitors
Not seen it.
in a good way. You've not watched Traitors? Well, one of the seasons. I don't think you need to watch all of them, but But yeah, another slightly problematic ending. Not problematic like that, although. So it was like, I was up at 4.5 at some point, and I was like, this could be, and then it's.
They had 4.5 to lose, did it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At one point, as the ending came, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of assessed it, and I was like, it's one of those that's like a really good film on the surface, but once you start actually thinking about it, it's a bit less good. But yeah, I had fun with it though. Well worth a watch.
I watched,
And then,
go on,
sorry,
go on. No, you go.
I was going to say Minari because I've already mentioned it. But
Yeah, so what do you think to that? Not
well
too
acted,
much.
kept me interested throughout, very well made, enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt as well. Yeah, it's exactly how I felt.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to stick with me too much, but
No, yeah, agreed. I watched The Descendants.
Clooney.
Yeah, it's Alexander Payne, isn't it? Yeah, I liked it. Didn't think it
That
was...
one in Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Running flip-flops.
Yeah. Didn't think it was as funny or as fun as Sideways. And didn't think it had quite the depth of The Holdovers. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit... Yeah, it's okay. But I quite enjoyed it. He's a bit like Richard Curtis. Not in that...
The style.
Yeah. Not in that his genre's the same. Like, we're talking Curtis is almost a genre on his own. But very much got his own flavour, own unique flavour of films.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it at all, but yeah, it's okay. And I watched The Father.
Oh, okay, yeah. Another one for the Oscars episode we're
watched that
going to be doing. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
Yes, it's got, I cannot remember her name.
Olivia, yeah, because
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman, yeah.
Yeah. And, him.
Because you hate the Welsh.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins.
That's the one.
Yeah.
No, I remember that being very good. I didn't.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
enjoy is maybe the wrong word. I did think it was very good.
Yeah.
It's not a very enjoyable film.
No, but it is gripping.
Yes.
Yeah. And then my final one, not quite my final one, actually. My final full film.
Oh, you've been starting to watch another one?
My final full film was Into the Blue.
Into the Blue.
Paul Walker.
Oh,
Jessica
wow.
Alba.
Why?
No idea. I think it was because it was on Prime and I needed something with subtitles that I could put subtitles on, and my other viewing option doesn't always have, because it was late or something like that, I guess.
So you just read it? You had it on mute?
No, I had it down low and had the subtitles on.
Okay. Headphones?
Yeah, I could have done that, I suppose. but I didn't. Probably had a few cans, mate.
Okay.
But it struck me that they've already made this film. I mean, they haven't. It's backwards. But remember, I watched Fool's Gold.
Yes.
And said that is essentially just a tongue-in-cheek reworking of The Deep, which is a 1977 film.
Right.
Starring Robert Shaw and Nick Nolte. Yeah, that's what this is.
But okay.
So a studio somewhere has gone, we can't think of anything original, let's just make a shit version of The Deep and made Into the Blue.
Yep.
And then someone else has come along and gone, wow, Into the Blue is shit. Why don't we remake a shit version of The Deep as well? And they've made Fool's Gold.
So it's Fool's Gold after Into the Blue?
Yeah. Fool's Gold is comfortably better, I would say, because it sort of knows what it is a bit more, which is, a bit silly.
And what's the one you've started?
I've started watching Blackbird.
Oh, have you? Brilliant.
Now, my question for you, remind me again how and why you watch this.
So, Will, friend of the pod,
right,
gets some of his friends round, of which I am one of them, try and go for like once a year.
This was your shit film?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you purposely watch bad films.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I thought, he can't have picked this earnestly.
No. It's hilarious.
Couldn't get through it, mate.
No, I mean, how many drinks? I told you need a lot of drink.
Yeah, couldn't get
Probably
through
watch it not on your own.
No.
Because you need to be laughing at it.
Yeah.
Throughout. But, I mean, it's Michael Flatley playing like a James Bond.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious. I had a lot of fun with it. I watched this at the same night that we watched Thanksgiving as well. That's...
Were Blackbird not set in the Caribbean for a large swathe of the story, I'd have turned it off after about 10 minutes.
You're just looking at the background going, oh, that's nice.
Because there's just some lovely shots with it, and obviously he's in the bar.
Julia Roberts' brother.
Eric Roberts, yeah. But yeah, Christ almighty, no. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Not sure I'll get back round to finishing that.
I might watch it with you. I'll come around with a few cans. There we go. We rewatch. Another thing that came in, film-related, Letterboxd year in review.
Oh, yes.
So I thought it'd be nice, might be fun to do a bit of a comparison, seeing as we're both on Letterboxd now. Now, I only started using Letterboxd in earnest, actually, about in like November, but I did transfer all my IMDb in, so it's going to be...
Has that skewed it then? Has that skewed it?
No, I think it's
Did you do the dates properly?
I think it carries it all over.
Okay.
I mean, properly, maybe not, because I might have logged like 5 in a day from a week and things like that. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it'll get us nearly there. Right. So how do you want to do this? Do you just want to go through each category and just compare and contrast?
Sure, yeah, whatever you think.
Okay, so number of films logged last year, Carl, what were you up to?
193.
Oh, that's disappointing that you didn't get to 200.
I know, I didn't quite.
Yeah, that's I mean, 193, solid number. 133.
Still a solid number.
Yeah. I'm aiming for 200 this year. I think I should be comfortably able to do that. How many hours of your life?
374.
253. So you've got 120 hours there of stuff that I've spent doing other things.
I would say the majority of those are hours well spent. I have spent many more hours doing things that were a much bigger waste of time.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm comfortable with that.
Most watched actor.
Hey, you'll love this.
Go on.
Ralph Fiennes.
Really?
Yeah.
So off the top of your head, what have you watched of Ralph Fiennes?
Well, there'll be the English Patient, which is long, obviously. You've got In Bruges.
Oh, yeah.
He's in 3 Bond films.
Oh, of course, yeah. Didn't think about the Bond films.
Yeah. So,
that's why I was wondering why it would have been him.
I don't know if... Will they have all carried over into this year? Maybe they did, yeah. I think I'm struggling a little bit after that, but there'll be...
You didn't watch all the Harry Potters, that would have really...
No, I did not. What's yours?
Another Bond actor, Desmond Llewellyn.
What the heck? Oh, it's your Bonds, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's basically like 7 Bond films or 8 Bond films that I watched, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Director? Most watched director?
A little less surprising, I suppose. Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Yep. Mine's Bob Zemeckis, which again makes sense because I went on a bit of a run with him. Yeah. Most watched in a week, I don't think that's really accurate, to be fair, because it depends when you logged them, I guess. But Most watched. How many?
So,
did you watch
16 was the number.
Yeah, 11 for me. I'm not sure if that's actually true. Most watched day. So
This definitely isn't true.
this isn't like the number you watched in a day, right? It's the day that you watched most films across the year.
Yeah, but it's relying on you putting the dates in properly,
Yeah.
which I don't. So my day is Monday by some distance.
Oh, right, okay, so you've done
and
the
that's
weekend.
reflective of that. After the weekend,
Yeah, right.
I'm catching up. And
Mine's Saturday, so it's probably accurate.
Yeah.
First watch of your year?
My first watch of the year on January the 2nd
Slacker.
was A Haunting in Venice.
Mine was Good Grief.
Who's in that?
The guy from Schitt's Creek. Gay guy. He plays a gay guy. I don't know if he is gay. Who knows?
But what would you think if he was?
Each their own, Carl. Each their own.
Long
But
as they keep it
I
indoors.
think he directed and started that.
etc.
Last watch. What was your last watch of the year?
My last watch on December the 28th. Mm-hmm. That's really slacking, though.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Point Break.
Okay, mine was Wallace and Gromit.
I mean, the likelihood is, let me just check the calendar. I probably watched, because that was a
And
weekend.
then locked it. You've stolen some for next year.
And then we went into the bank holiday. I probably, the first 5-6 films of 2024 are probably on if I could work that out, imagine if it's 6. I'd still be one away from 200.
What were your milestone films? So your 50th, 100th, 150?
My 50th was one of this parish, The Departed.
Okay. Mine was After Sun.
Oh, yeah. Again, one of this parish, soon to be.
Soon to be, yeah.
My 100th was Triangle of Sadness, which was a film you couldn't remember anything about.
I genuinely was like, I've watched this film. I remember nothing of it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Mine was Here. So the
Bob Zemeckis
Robert
one.
Zemeckis, yeah. So I don't think we will be talking about that unless for some reason you really like it. I mean, I can't imagine it. These are the interesting ones. We probably could have skipped over. Oh, sorry, you got 150. Come on, go.
Some of us have watched
Sorry,
more than
yes.
130 films, thank you. Jerry Maguire. Solid 150th there, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, cool. Most watched theme. This was interesting.
This feels right, although I am sceptical as to how accurate these movies are labelled.
Yeah, and I wonder who labels them as well.
Yeah, well, it'll be some fucking AI or some sort of crawler, won't it? But this feels right. Moving relationship stories.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think, because we've watched a lot of Oscar films, I also think, well, you could apply that to a lot of Oscar films.
Yeah. Moving relationship stories, yeah. This is not like a story about people moving their relationship or
It could be.
moving house and it's their relationship story. I mean, I can't remember any foods I've watched with that. What about nano genre?
I think
It's going to be the same, isn't it?
Marriage Story, it really is about moving relationship, because fuck knows there was nothing moving about that relationship. Most watched nano genre, slapstick, Christmas, cute.
So slapstick and Christmas. So yeah, okay, cute.
Dunno.
Bizarre. Mine's, and you might see a little theme here: gadgets, stunts, agent.
James Bond again.
Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but interesting. I thought, well, probably not to listen to, but to read and receive in your inbox.
You fucking rinse and repeat that.
Okay, Carl. I don't think we've got any apologies. And we should
I do
Can we
have
skip
one.
them because we've been talking for fucking ages?
I know, yeah, but I'm going to have to, because, it's important, this. I just need to apologise once again to my friend who allegedly didn't shit himself. He knows who he is. We did re-upload the episode where we named you, and we did bleep it out, but unfortunately we bleeped the wrong word out, so we'll get to that as soon as we can. Sorry, mate. Right, I know where you're pushing me.
Unveil the ale. So this is relating to kick ass.
Right.
You've half-assed it, haven't you?
So, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, have you just seen?
No.
No, I haven't. Yeah, how very dare you? Get your own fucking beer next time.
You were just like, it was the exhale and the right. I thought you were like, right, thing is, I was going to do this, but actually turns out.
Just shut up and listen now, thank you. So when this beer first came out, I thought, yeah, that's interesting. That seems like the kind of thing I like. It looks bright and fun. It's making all the right noises when you read the blurb. But then you have it. And you remember that Nick Cage just doesn't make good beers anymore.
And the beer is.
So I've gone with a Brewdog Wingman.
Wingman. Yeah, it's a solid little session. For, yeah. This is everywhere now, Wingman. Well, cheers. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's get to introducing the film for today, which is Kick-Ass. But first, before we reveal what each of us thinks about this movie, a quick reminder of our simple 5-point scale for our ratings. You either really like it, you're ambivalent, you don't like it, or you really don't like it, as Carl cracks open the wingman there.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So, Carl, general impressions. Where are you on the old scale?
I don't like it.
I like it. And this is why. So this came out at a time in 2010 when superhero movies were continuing to proliferate with very mixed quality and were pretty much all taking themselves pretty seriously. And so I found this a bit of a breath of fresh air when released. And I remember having a great time when seeing it in the cinema. With its no shits given violence and language, it's just an enjoyable romp throughout. Carl, what don't you like?
People who have motion smoothing on, who are second only to people who can't tell the difference.
I might be the second person.
Oh, dearie me.
I'm pretty sure my TV isn't good enough to actually have it, though. Because it's from, like, God, no, I shouted it. Why won't you die? It's like, I want a new TV.
Broken.
But anyway, about the film, Carl, what don't you like?
Oh, yes, the film. So when this film first came out, I thought, yeah, that's interesting. Seems like the kind of thing I like. It looks bright and fun. It's making all the right noises when you read the blurb. But then you have it, and you remember that Brewdog just don't make good films anymore.
Very good.
I guess ultimately, it's just not funny enough. You obviously can't take it seriously. So after that, it's about, is it cool or fun enough? And I say, not really. I think it's a bit boring and stretched out for bits. They go a bit too hard after the heavy aspect of it. Try and make something land there. Which honestly is an impossible task with a vehicle like this. Yeah, just didn't feel it.
Interesting. Okay, let's kick things off as we always do. We're talking about the cast. And I thought I want to ask you, Carl, generally, at the start of this, what is your overall thoughts on the cast before we get deep
too big.
Deep into it? It's too big. Okay. Yeah. Too many cast members, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I kept seeing people pop up in like incredibly minor roles. Some of them are only credited as goons that you recognise, like half the cast of Lockstock, for instance. Right? And I kept seeing them pop up. I was like, what? Why? That could have just been any age. And I feel like that's part of what the film is doing. It's like talking to its audience, being like, "Hey, we got look. You recognise this guy, don't you? Yeah. Hey." Yeah, too big, mate. Too big.
Matthew Vaughn's mates in it.
Well, there is a bit of that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start at the top. Aaron Johnson, later Taylor Johnson. Who played Dave.
You want to have a guess at why that is, maybe? Speculate?
Why what?
Why he's changed his name?
Because he got married?
Is that why?
Yeah.
No, that's boring.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I have no idea.
Sam Taylor?
A woman something like 20 years his elder.
Yeah, more than that, I think.
Yeah, imagine if that was the other way around. You think this podcast is controversial? Jesus Christ. Seriously, I hope they're very happy. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I think they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks very young in this.
Well, how old is he?
19.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah.
Actually, appropriate-ish age, which for teenagers, actors playing teenagers in films isn't always the case.
No, it's not. That's very true. As Ass Kick, I think he is very good, really.
As Ass Kick.
Yeah, I think he's delivering the sort of geeky teenager.
Yeah.
Quite well, and then he's good enough in the stuff.
It's like the average slack-jawed, wank-obsessed teen.
Yeah,
pulls that off.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. So does all right. Where do you want to go next?
Superbad all over again. It's just carte blanche to go after dick jokes, isn't it?
I mean, I don't need an excuse.
No, that's true.
Where do you want to go next?
Well, the one I had at the top of my list, I didn't have Ass Kick. I had Hit Girl.
You Hit Girl, right? Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Again, age appropriate.
And again, changed her name. I think she was just Chloe Moretz in this one. She
really?
added in the Grease.
What do you think that was? You want to speculate?
Probably someone else called Chloe Moretz. And then she got famous and went, oh shit, I need to actually change it. I don't know though. Mindy McCready, hit girl. 13 at the time of filming. Plays a bit younger.
Again, thought she was pretty decent.
Yeah. I thought brilliant physical comedic performance from someone so young.
Yeah, there is, but her delivery of lines was quite good as well. I thought. I thought she was very good. I recognised the name, and I would have definitely said I'd seen her in something other than this. I don't think so. I think this is the only thing I've seen her in.
Kick-Ass 2.
Not seen it, mate. I went to the cinema to see this,
Yeah, me
and
too.
I've not seen Kick-Ass 2. So I just want you to know I've been consistent on not liking this film for 15 years or whatever it is. Is it 2010?
2010,
Yeah.
Yeah. She trained with the circus to be able to do a lot of her own stunts in the fight scenes and stuff like that. Thought she was very convincing in all of those bits. I mean, it's hard to distinguish what's her and what's a stunt double, but
Especially with Matthew Vaughn's particular style of fight scenes.
but yeah, she got quite a lot of flack. Well, not directly her, got a lot of flack for the role, but
Oh, really?
well, just the very young girl being all sweary and violent. Mainly, I think the cunt is shocking for some people. But it's quite
Especially
funny.
American audiences.
Yeah, but it's quite funny because you read some of her interviews she was doing at the time. She's like, "Oh, I can't say anything like." That's just the movie, right? If I said anything like that at home, I'd be in trouble. I don't even say the name of this film. I'm not allowed. I just call it the film.
The film.
When I'm talking about it, it's just like, okay, I think you can say ass, but fine. But yeah, I thought she was really good. What about her Big Daddy?
Are we absolutely sure that Big Daddy isn't a paedophile?
It's a stick-on mustache, the longer bit. It's fine.
Are we, can we go to bed secure in the knowledge that he wasn't touching her?
He's just a loving father.
Right. Okay.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. What's wrong with me? Fuck me.
So I'm guessing, did you not enjoy the Nick Cage performance in this?
I mean, does anyone ever really enjoy Nick Cage performances, really?
Yeah, Con Air.
Well,
recently.
Listen, there was a time and a place for Nick Cage, right?
Yes.
In the 90s, when movies were over the top and good, and they weren't trying to cover all bases, and make sure that they were turning and winking to the camera to say, yeah, don't worry, we know it's silly too, but just come with us. When they were just unapologetically over the top, you can get away with a Nick Cage. And listen, I love The Rock, and he's fine in The Rock.
So I think what you said there, this is over the top. So I think it's perfect for a Nick Cage doing
it's also like it's doing that thing where it's like it's just turning to the camera a bit and going, yeah, don't worry, come with it. Yeah, well, that's
why I quite like it.
No,
he's kind of in on it. He's even doing an Adam West impression for his Batman.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is in on it to a fault. I don't know if he's ever in on it. Have you ever read his Wikipedia page?
No.
I mean, that guy is straight up weird. Like he lives in another world. So yeah, I don't know that necessarily he was in it. He probably thought that was a fantastic artistic choice, and he probably lived that method for a week.
I don't think he's under any illusion of what sort of films he has done. Like,
you should read some of the stuff he's been up to and tell me that you don't think that's a guy under illusions.
Well, quite possibly. I mean, he has become a bit of a parody of himself. But I think in this, he has that little bit of movie star magnetism, and he can do weird very well. You know, he's probably not acting too much, as you said.
Yeah.
And I think for this character that he does it in here,
Be yourself, Nick. Not too much.
Yes, I think it's just incredibly well suited to it. I think he's almost the sort of standout performance for me in this. One of the more memorable parts of it.
Okay.
Apparently, he was the one as well that came up with the disguise of the larger moustache for his Big Daddy, which is it's actually pretty genius. I do quite like that. And I think it's pretty funny. You know, the disguise itself and the fact that he thought of it, I think, I don't know, makes me giggle. I like it. Where do you want to go next? McLovin?
Yes. Red Mist, Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Chris D'Amico.
I mean, there's nothing really to say that we didn't say on the Superbad episode. He's very fun. He's very unique. Really struggled to recast him.
Yeah, he's not quite full McLovin mode here. He's playing it a little less. I don't know.
He's just
a little less something. Just a little less.
Just a very unique type of dweeb.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. Part of me thinks, and it's kind of stealing on the recasting, that actually it might have been better having someone a little less geeky playing Red Mist, who's still like kind of a bit of a dweeb, a kind of a bit of an outcast and stuff, but maybe someone a bit less overtly McLovin-y. Someone like James Franco was in the original Spider-Man. You seen the original Spider-Man?
No.
Oh, jeez. Where he was kind of like, well, you know, he's clearly like a fairly attractive guy, but he's a spoiled rich kid and no one likes him. I think it could have gone in, but he was fine. He was good. You know, he was fine. It was good. Well, Mark Strong, Frank D'Amico, the big bad.
Yeah, Mark Strong here, midway through his run of being in every single film being made.
I wrote this as well. Yeah. You look at his like filmography. It's just like you were in 8 films that year, were you? 8, 6 the next. Okay,
and the man is just simply relentless.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a lead in any of those, really.
No, that's true.
He's always a supporting, but I mean,
he often gets cast as bad guys as well, doesn't he? So,
yeah. Which is weird. Like how I get like to a point, you go, oh, I saw that guy, Mark Strong. He is. Oh yeah. Should get him in because he does a bad guy. Oh yeah. But it's like, how many times can you do that before you go? I mean, he's been in a lot of films where he's playing.
Do we really want
a bad guy? Do we want the Mark Strong bad guy?
Yeah, exactly. Because then you go, do we really want people thinking of that other film he was a bad guy in when?
But he's been in a lot of comic book movies as well. He was in Green Lantern as a bad guy. He was in, I know it's not really a comic book film, but Kingsman, and wasn't he in that? Wasn't he a bad guy in that as well?
No,
he wasn't.
He's a good
Merlin,
guy,
wasn't he? In that,
yeah, he's a good guy in that one.
Good guy in that. But bad guy trope thing for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
your point there about like, do we really want that because people associate him with other things because he's in everything? That was my point really with the bloated cast, and just picking more unknown actors for the smaller parts. But I feel like that was a deliberate choice on this movie. I feel like they wanted to go, you're going to enjoy this on many different levels. One of those will be seeing all the faces you like. Oh, that's the guy from that.
Yeah.
Invoking the Leo meme.
Oh, yeah. He's also British, obviously. So we've got the lead who's Brit playing American. We've got the mob boss, Brit playing American. We've got obviously the all of the goons, as you've said, all Brits.
Yeah,
playing Americans. Did you not realise there's American actors out there? I mean, can you not just get those now?
Why do you think you want to throw out a reason? Maybe why not?
Why what?
Why he doesn't go for American actors?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't like Americans. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, why do you think that?
I don't know, Carl. Why?
I don't know. I just wondered if you wanted to.
No. I'm not going to offend the whole of the our country this time.
You've changed.
No, I mean, I'd say this time. I mean, it might still come later.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, Mark Strong's a weird one because it's like he's in lots, but like we said, he's a decent sporting actor. Like he's never like terrible that I remember. He's just. Could I remember something that he's been exceptional in, or something that is really memorable that I really associated him with? I'm struggling.
Grimsby.
I've not seen it, and also, really, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Didn't they change the title of that as well?
Yeah, it was the Brothers Grimsby.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing really. I was looking through.
It was a joke, by the way. If anyone's seen Grimsby, they'll understand.
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Some people really like that film.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah. I think that's a fair enough observation.
Any more on the cast?
I've got one more, which is Joe Bogino. Joe Bogino.
Joe Bogino.
Yeah, who played Posh Goon.
Posh Goon, right.
I mean, you'd change your name, wouldn't you?
What, Posh?
No, Bogino. Yeah, surely a lifetime of going, Joe Pacino, right. No, it's Pacino. Yeah, Pacino. Are you saying Pacino? Yes, it's Pacino. And he's just finished a film this year called Alto Nights, which is a mob thriller that stars Robert De Niro. I mean,
So he's got like De Niro and Pacino.
He's
De Niro
caught
and
in it at
Pacino.
this point, isn't he? De Niro and Pacino. Oh, is it? I didn't know that was it. No, not De Niro and Pacino. De Niro and Pacino. Sounds made up, mate. I think he's caught in that.
Very good. Just to round out the supporting thing, we've already talked about the mob goons, Dexter Fletcher, Jason Fleming. Tamara Hassan is even in there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That was the weirdest one.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh, that's the guy from the Football Factory that came out the year before. Yes, it is. Yes, well done.
The best friends, Clark Duke and Evan Peters, Marty and Todd. Totally fine as a pair of teenage geeky friends, but don't really add a lot to it.
No.
And then Lindsay Fonseca as the girl, Katie, that he's interested in. Love interest, ticks the boxes.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
Didn't write it down.
Quick shout out to Xander Berkeley. You familiar with Xander Berkeley?
Nope.
He plays the corrupt cop Gigante.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Great name. I know him most from 24. Have you watched 24?
Yeah, I think we got like 3 or 4 series in.
Yeah. So you would have seen him in.
Yeah, it was a while
like
ago.
First, yeah. He plays like cowardly and sleazy, like really well. And it's just like, oh, Xander Berkeley.
Yeah.
And it's one of those names where I see the name and I'm like, who the fuck is Xander Berkeley? I know that name.
What's
What's
that guy?
Xander Berkeley. It's a great name.
So there you go. Another one where you go, oh, that's the guy from 24.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only other call out. Recasting.
So I've just done the few that I mentioned. So, Hit Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no idea. Let's chuck Zendaya in there. That seems to be the way of things, isn't it? She's the same age. I'll do.
There you go. Yeah, not bad shout. Well done.
Yeah. I've not seen her in anything. Would she do a good Hit Girl?
Stop saying you've not seen her in anything.
Oh, yeah. What was it I've seen
It's
her
the
in?
third episode you've said
What have I
this.
seen her in?
The Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman. Yeah, but what, was she an acrobat or something? Did she have any lines?
Yes.
So the way she caught that hoop then. Whoa. Yeah. Well, maybe that's Sarah well for Hit Girl. There we go. Perfect. Right,
There you go. She's got the skills.
Yeah.
You got?
Have you got Hit Girl?
No, I didn't do Hit Girl. I struggled to come up with another 13-year-old actress.
I've got an ass kick.
Go on.
Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton.
Right age again.
I mean, it's on brand, I guess. It wasn't discovered by then, I guess.
No, perhaps not.
I had Logan Lerman.
In fact, Taron Egerton, Matthew Vaughn,
Yeah, exactly.
is lucky that it's amazing he wasn't cast. Sorry, you had who?
Logan Lerman.
Who's he?
He's been in Perks of Being a Wallflower, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and the other Percy Jackson movie.
Fantastic Beasts.
No, that's Harry Potter.
Is that something else?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, is that not the same thing?
No.
Are they not? Are they not the same universe?
No.
Oh, I've been living a lie.
But he can play like the everyman average Joe thing who's got.
I'm sure he can.
Already,
Yeah.
but-
Who's got to deal with mythical beasts
That was
coming at him? Yeah.
that was all I had. How about Mark Strong?
Frank D'Amico. Stanley Tucci, because he looks so similar.
Just a bald man.
Yeah. But yeah, he's played mob bosses before and stuff, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, has he though?
Yeah, Lucky Number 11. Oh, no, he played the assassin in Lucky Number 11 rather than the actual mob
Well,
boss.
because I was watching him in Conclave the other day, and I was.
Are you just seeing him as a camp cooking channel now, though? That way.
If I was reliving my recasting for him in Whiplash,
All right,
and I was reassessing it, going,
Yeah.
I'm not sure he can do it.
No,
I don't know.
he could be nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fine.
He'd eviscerate you with words and grammar.
Yeah, but he'd cook a good meal
Colourful
afterwards.
language, yeah.
I went. Did you actually say it? Oh, you said Tucci. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I went Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, sure. Fassbender's good.
If you go non-American, you can do the kind of menacing thing in a shit accent. Michael Shannon, if you really want to lean into getting a bit more serious, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or if you're sticking with a more comic book, cheesy turn, over the top, not sure he could do a New York mob accent kind of thing, but Woody Harrelson. He'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about McLovin? Did you recast?
Really tough. So I've had to go, because he is such a unique dweeb, I've had to go with Eddie Deason mocapped. Yeah. Remember Eddie Deason?
Yes,
At the Polar
yes.
Express?
You just got
Like the know-it-all kid. Yeah.
I just imagine
But
you
he's
get
like 57 years old or something, so he'd have to be mocapped.
You just have the kid from the Polar Express turned up as a red mist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a superhero too. Are you a superhero? I got this car. Yeah.
Is he Irish?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay, cool. I went Tom Holland. Good, geeky, can do comedy. Comes a bit less McLovin baggage than Mince Plus.
Yeah.
It's not great. And Nick Cage. Did you recast Nick Cage?
Clive Owen, moody ex-cop without the pedo vibes.
Yeah, you can do Wooden as well. He could just speak.
Yes.
That's just how he would speak, like Big Daddy speaks. So perfect.
He's pretty wooden.
Do you know who was considered for the role?
Not
Now think. It's Matthew Vaughn.
Jason Statham, surely.
No. Has he got an association with? Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, he
because
produced
the
Snatch
things.
and Lock, Stock,
This is ones that he directed, so he's more the.
Surely not Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
Really? You couldn't have that. It'd be better if we call him Meanie.
Would be, yeah. And then Mark Wahlberg as well was also considered for the role. Can't really see that
Right,
one.
I can. We'll come back to that. It changes. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
And then Brad Pitt was apparently the original plan before he decided to do
Yeah, I can
Inglourious
see that
Bastards
too.
instead.
I can see that too. That might be better than Wahlberg.
Okay.
I've done one more.
Okay,
I've gone for Joe Bogino, Al Pacino, just to clear that up, really, more than anything else.
Good stuff. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to production. So this was an interesting one because Matthew Vaughn made it independently because no studios would go near it originally. I think it was maybe Hit Girl that put them off a little bit. So he raised the money at a dinner party.
Yeah.
Why haven't we thought of that?
Yeah. Who would you invite?
I don't know. Do you know anyone with money?
No.
No, me neither.
Actively avoid those people. But...
Yeah, true. Yeah, a lot of the studios wanted Hit Girl to be dropped or made older.
That's bizarre, that, because...
Is it? I mean, it's pretty on brand for Hollywood.
Yes,
just going like,
yeah,
it's a bit, it's not right in
That's
the middle
because
of
they
my
thought
comfort
that
zone.
they suspected paedophilia, and that's what's going on there.
Make her 17, so it's not quite as bad.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure where I stand on Matthew Vaughn. Because...
Throat?
Huh?
The Throat? No?
Maybe, yeah. Because obviously he was producer on Snatch and Lock, Stock, which are fun for what they are. But he's producer. What does he do? I don't know. I'm an idiot.
Money in it.
No, it's not money. Yeah. I mean, producer is in... No.
It's the money.
I think producer is the guy that is in charge of...
We've had this conversation
making
before,
things
you know
happen
that.
and, there's a big say in how things end up looking in the quality of your set design, all that sort of stuff. I think they oversee all that sort of stuff. But again, yeah, as you've just alluded to, we're idiots. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
and
So,
we didn't go check afterwards. either.
No.
We didn't clear it up. So this time we would go, but we know what.
No,
the
why would
producer
we?
does.
Why
Exactly.
would we do
why
that? I
would
haven't
we
got
do
time for that. Have you got time for that? I haven't got time for that. I'd rather just be wrong again.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was director on Layer Cake, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Yep. Agreed.
And then he did Kingsman.
Well, he's done Stardust after that.
Not seen it.
We did X-Men First Class as
Not
well.
seen it.
Then he did Kingsman and 1 and 2.
Which I enjoyed, the first one.
But yeah, we've come up a few times. Why has this come up so many times recently?
I don't know. But they really wore out quick, those films. And then he did the Argyle nonsense.
Well, yeah, he did. Yeah, because he did The Kingsman as well, didn't he? Like the third one set in the past.
They really wore it quick. And then sort of once you
Argyle,
see he's got this penchant for like the spinning-y, silly CGI, set-piecey type things. And once you see that, I sort of can't unsee it. It's like, oh, God, it's a Matthew Vaughn film, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's fine for The Descendants to be like that type of film and it's recognisable as soon as it gets Matthew Vaughn. You know,
Well, I mean, that's because Alexander Payne's good, I think. I think that's a distinction I'm not making there.
Just looping back to Argyle. So I feel like this is probably a correction when I don't think I said this on the mailbag episode when we said about the biggest disappointment of last year. I think Argyle was the biggest disappointment of last year. I so enjoyed the premise of that movie and the idea behind it, and it was just so dull.
Yeah, it was really dull.
Uninteresting in every way.
Yeah.
And even Sam Rockwell couldn't turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, he's done, Layer Cake Stardust, X-Men First Class, Kingsman's, Argyle. It's kind of, X-Men First Class is genuinely a good,
So you say.
yeah, a good version of its type. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But it was good. That did have Fassbender in it. Maybe that's where I came from. Fassbender coming in. That's
He's in a few of those things, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fassbender?
What movies?
Yeah, those feature-length sort of... They usually commit to celluloid off digital these days. But that's not important right now.
Not as many as Mark Strong, but he's in a few.
Yeah, well, nobody's in as many as Mark Strong. But I think if I was to say who was second, it would be Michael Fassbender. Because he had a similar period, didn't he? In a lot
But
of
he
films.
is actually lead. He is a lead actor.
Yeah.
So he won't be in as many films because he's got to be there longer. This is how I understand it to work.
Yeah.
Just go in for your 2 days. I'm out. See you later.
Yeah.
We know nothing. In terms of the look that it's gone for, I quite like. It has come in with an idea of how it's gonna go for it with its comic book notes. I guess like it's like it's trying to be like a comic book coming out of the pages onto the screen quite literally with its ultra violence, over stylized violence and graphic violence. It's got the it's over the top. It's kind of ridiculous. It's not to be taken seriously, and it's intentionally so. Some of the violence and scenes like the guy getting crushed in the car, and kind of that was good. Oh, there was a theory, by the way, that Dexter Fletcher's character in that he's a little mob guy who drives a yellow Range Rover or whatever. Oh. He also plays a mob guy in Layer Cake who drives a yellow Range Rover. That maybe they're the same character. Don't care. The Microwaved Man, quite enjoyed the that kind of thing. We got put him in the wood treatment thing, basically a microwave. Put on for 5 minutes and then exploded.
Yeah.
Hit Girl introduction fight, the way that was done, very very comic booky,
out of nowhere as well. That one.
Yeah.
Not just her introduction, but the level of violence suddenly was like.
Yeah, so that was the first. It really, because before that it had just been him getting stabbed and hit by a car, right? Yeah. It's only when the real comic book heroes superheroes come in that the violence ups to those kind of levels. Frank D'Amico literally turning to red mist via the bazooka at the end as well, which is what red mist means. That's where that comes from. I also quite liked some of the things they were trying, even if I don't think it necessarily came off. So in the scene where Hit Girl is rescuing Big Daddy and Kick-Ass, they're tied to chairs. And it kind of goes all like dark and strobe lighting, and then she has the night vision. And it kind of goes like this first-person shooter style. Did you notice that?
Yeah, there was a bit
the,
of that. Yeah.
the gun thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a nice idea. I don't think it really works.
No.
Though.
I mean,
Because
honestly, that whole set piece was way too long.
That one.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it was too long.
It was very long, that bit.
Not sure I noticed. But the favourite part in terms of the production, how they did it, was the Big Daddy backstory, where they had the comic book actually coming to life and telling the things and doing that. Right. And how they presented that, I was just like, oh, this is quite cool, with him doing the voiceover for it.
Yeah, I'm laughing because of something else saying plot and changes when you started talking about that. But you're talking about it from the production sort of view and the comic booky type thing?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I see what you're saying. My issues with this on the production front, I feel like this is... By the way, this gets onto something I want to maybe talk about in the data section. I feel like this movie is like a cross between Kick-Ass... sorry.
He is Kick-Ass.
Between Kick-Ass, yeah.
It's 100% Kick-Ass.
Yes. Between Shoot 'em Up
yes.
and Superbad. Because we've got this thread of Aaron Taylor Johnson, his coming-of-age thing, talking about jerking off all the time. It's living little kids, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's into I want to be a superhero, and it goes very shoot 'em uppy type thing with the over the top sort of thing.
That's not a bad show.
Right. There's also maybe a bit of Leon in there too.
Ooh, okay.
They've got a bit of, especially with the Big Daddy pedo thing. I mean, but like, I don't know if they want a couple of deliberate nods to. You think about Hit Girl's story arc and
Yeah, probably.
her mentor sort of being killed, and then she has to avenge that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
good
I
call.
don't know, but like totally, I was like, to me, this is like you've got Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is very much a super baddie type, snivelling kid who just has got an attitude, but he's still a bit of a dweeb. And then the shoot 'em up thing. My problem with that is shoot 'em up did it so much better, and I think it's because shoot 'em up takes itself more seriously. And it lets the ridiculousness of the events sort of speak for themselves. This comes back to what I was saying about like Nick Cage in the 90s. He was in some films that did that, rather than this and his later films where they go in like, oh, don't worry, we're self-aware. We're telling you, we know
this
we're
is
silly.
Nick Cage phoning it in.
Yeah, we know we're silly. We'll tell you we're silly. It's like, don't tell us you're silly, right? We'll decide that. You just go and be silly, right? And it just feels like it's sort of talking to its audience a bit more, and I don't like it. I don't like it, mate. It annoys me.
I mean, I think you're right in that that's what it's doing.
Yeah, but I feel like
I think it's an intentional choice that they are not taking themselves seriously. So,
but you don't have to tell us that. Like we talk, don't we, about 90s films? They're so unflinchingly secure. They don't care that they are over the top. They're just going to be over the top.
Yeah.
And because they don't reference it, it's just cool. You pull it off. The minute you go, by the way, we know this is a bit over the top, you go, oh, right, okay. It just brings everything down a bit, I think. And I think that's what's happening here. When I compare it to something like Shoot 'em Up, which is a film I like very much.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is taking itself more seriously and intentionally, but it's still fun.
But it's still essentially, that film's like, what, an hour and a half long version of Bugs Bunny with machine guns, right? It's ridiculous, but it doesn't, it doesn't turn to the camera and wink in the same way that this does, I don't think.
What did you think of the music in this? Any thoughts, use of music?
I didn't write anything down. Nothing stood out, but nothing stood out badly either, I'll say that.
So there was only a couple of bits that really stood out in a good way, which was the use of music during the fight scene. So there was two in particular: Hit Girl's introduction, the music with that, I think it was like tra la 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 tra la 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 la.
Okay, right. Yeah.
And then the warehouse Big Daddy,
Matthew Vaughn.
yeah, and then the warehouse shootout where it's like filmed on the bear, with Big Daddy just kicking ass and taking names. The music in that as well was.
What was that one? Can you remember?
I can't remember. I think it's a composed piece that's been used in another film as well. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was. I could have written it down, but didn't. But I thought a couple of really good uses of the music. One sort of more popular, one not.
Yeah, didn't notice, but can well believe it.
Last thing I had on production, MySpace still a thing back in 2010.
Ooh.
It talks about MySpace. It's like, that seems like a lot longer ago than 2010.
Who talks about MySpace, though?
That's on his, where he's getting all his messages and stuff.
It is,
on the
yeah.
MySpace.
Because I was going to say, is that like D'Amico talking about well, he's just out of touch. But you're right, that's the platform of choice. Yeah. Do you know what that'll be? Funding.
But
that's
MySpace,
where the funding. Well, I don't know.
Like, that seems like as soon as Facebook came along, it just disappeared, didn't it? And Facebook would have been there for a good 7 years by then.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems surprising.
MySpace is still going, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's still on there.
I probably have got an account dormant somewhere, yeah. I never really used it.
Have you got anything else on production, Carl?
No, I have not.
Would you like to play a game?
Oh, I'd love to play. I'd forgotten all about the game.
Well, there you go. I'll be honest. I struggled to come up with a name for it.
Right.
So let's call it Kick Ass or Ass Kick.
Yeah, good. Solid.
So this is leaning into one of your strengths. So similar like we did with the Wizard of Oz game, Wizard or Oz, where I was really taking a real love of yours, which was, in this case, comic book films.
Oh, yes.
And comic books generally.
I see. One of my strengths. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Know you're a comic book movie aficionado.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a name and a description of a comic book character. They've not necessarily been in the film. Some of them have, some of them haven't. And you have to determine whether they are real or fake. So are they kick-ass or are they ass-kick?
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, number 1. Mercury. Able to move at great speeds, has a twin sister called the Rouge Witch, and real name is Pedro Minimov.
But you haven't made these up. But what is this? Is this a ChatGPT job? Is it?
I can tell you.
No, but like when the fake ones.
So I got a generic AI to create one, but it went into way too much detail, so I just made them up.
Yeah.
Where I've made them up.
Yeah. So have you made that up? That'd tell me something about you, wouldn't it? That'd be weird. Let's say that's real. That's kick-ass.
It's made up. It's ass kick. So in fact, I made this up based on the character of Quicksilver, so Mercury, who has been played on screen by both Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Evan Peters, who plays one of his best friends, in different iterations of different movies. His actual real name is Pietro Maximov, and his twin sister is the Scarlet Witch.
You say so.
Yeah. Okay, number 2. Howard the Duck. An alien hatched on the planet of Duckworld who ended up on Earth as a private investigator and in one storyline ran for the office of American President.
I mean, this is like, who knows? There's literally no limit to what ridiculousness could be in these bloody comics. Yeah, kick-ass, why not?
It is kick-ass, it is real. Yeah, it made a little guest appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
If you say so.
Okay, number 3. Kevin. A silent, bespectacled killing machine who kidnaps ladies of the night and makes them watch as he eats them alive.
Ladies of the night.
Prostitutes, Carl.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's illegal in Amsterdam.
Yes. Kevin.
Just Kevin. Yeah.
I mean, fuck it, yeah. Kick-ass.
It is kick-ass from Sin City.
Of course
Seen Sin City?
Yeah, I have seen Sin City.
Yeah, he's Elijah Wood character.
Oh, he's got, yeah. That's
Kevin.
Right, yeah.
Okay, next one.
Beady-eyed little fucker.
Spider-Ham.
Isn't that Frank Miller?
It's Frank Miller, yeah. But anyway, I've moved on now, Carl.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham. Real name, Peter Porker. You know, just like Spider-Man, but a pig.
Let's say kick-ass.
It is real, yes,
Yeah.
it's kick-ass, yeah. Appeared in the Into the Spider-Verse films, and it's got its own little comic.
If you say so.
Okay, this one, a good one for you. Squirrel Girl. A young girl who can communicate with squirrels and is strangely unbeatable in combat.
Yeah, let's say ass kick for this one.
That's real. It's a kick-ass. Probably beat Thanos in one of the things. It means nothing to you.
No, absolutely nothing.
Okay, you ready for the last one?
Thanos make flasks. No, is that not the same thing?
I don't think
What's
so.
that
no.
then?
No, I don't know. Don't know what the flask is.
Thermos.
Thermos.
Is that not the same bloke?
No.
No.
I don't think unless he. No, I don't think so. Okay, last one. Supernan. Real name Agatha Misty. Over 700 years old and from the planet of BD, who came to Earth to look for her grandson who had fled their home planet after angering an evil dictator. She finds that the atmospheric conditions on Earth bestow her with superhuman strength and speed, which she, of course, uses to fight crime while solving clues to find her grandson.
What's her name?
Supernan.
If her actual name is going to be Supergran, I'll be really pissed off. Kick-ass.
No, it's made up. I just made that one up.
Completely?
Just completely.
What's wrong with you?
I started off with Superman. I came out with Supernan, and then I
Is
just
that the
went from
story
there.
of Superman, is it?
Huh?
Is that the story of Superman, is it?
Well, no. Like he came from a foreign planet. Do you have foreign planets?
Yes.
I guess so.
Should stay in their own planet, shouldn't they?
Yeah. Taking our jobs. So there you go. I can't remember how you did. I think you got about half. Well done.
I think I got 3 wrong. How many did you do?
6.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well done.
Blind luck.
Alrighty, let's move on to the plot. And this has some very standard superhero beats. You know, it's got the introduction, the obtaining of powers, even if his powers are a bit not really powers, more just inability to feel pain quite as much, and some steel plates. Starting low level, meeting the big bad, gets in over his head, followed by a heroic ending. but all done, as you say, with that slightly different spin and the knowing nod and wink at the screen.
Being as the eventual plan was just to fucking kill everyone and just kill your way into the building and out of it.
Yeah.
Why did they not go straight to that plan? What were they waiting for? Why did they feel the need to start with the low-level underlings?
I think all they were doing, there was, like in boxing, you've got to do the body shots just to weaken them up a bit before you then go headhunting. That's what it's all about. Just weakening them up. Mm-hmm. That's why you established a run in American football, so then you can throw over the top and get the touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the plot's not terrible. Whatever the tone of it and the issues I have with it, there is a plot. You said like the standard superhero beats. I mean, that's somewhat lost on me as to whether that's standard or not. But also, like, the whole bit with Red Mist and then double crossing him, and there's a plot. There's stuff going on. They're trying. My thing is, it's just really dragged out, and maybe that's more of a production thing. But I just needed something to say in this section. So.
Okay, cool. So I've not really got much else to say on plot. I think you kind of covered it there, but I do want to just call out a few things as I was going through, making little notes as events as we went through the film. And the first one happens quite near the start, where his mum dies of a brain aneurysm. And I remember seeing this at the cinema, and for some reason I found that hilarious. And I don't know why now, because when I saw it, it completely didn't impact me in any way, shape, or form.
No.
It was just, I don't know if, again, it was because it's like the time I was watching that was when there was I was watching a lot of other superhero things. So it was very different, as it's explaining it. And so that her just literally falling face flat onto the table was a shocking, and therefore caused me to laugh.
Well, I don't remember a lot about this. I saw it at the cinema too. I don't remember a lot. I remember not laughing. That's about it. I remember coming out and going, that wasn't as funny as I'd hoped. But like we mentioned Hit Girl's introduction and the violence suddenly getting ramped up. Completely didn't remember that this was over the top violent. And like you say, that's a fairly brutal way to kill her. And like, oh, okay, so, yeah,
yeah. So it's little spoiler. That not finding that quite as funny as I remembered it. kind of the theme throughout.
Yeah,
where I was just like, oh, just as you were saying, oh, on first watch, you were like, oh, I expected this to be a bit funnier.
Yeah.
On second watch, I was like, both me and Emma were like, I remember it being funnier.
Yeah,
Did remember it being funnier. Yeah. There are fun moments, don't get me wrong, but just not laugh out loud funny moments. I chuckled a fair few times. The pretending to be gay thing, that obviously leads to getting the girl, because that's how life works. I don't know if I don't know if I liked the fact that he ends up with the girl. That he'd like, as the geeky kid and stuff. Should he get the girl first time? Shouldn't that be a sequel kind of thing? Come on.
I mean, we're in your territory here. I don't know how's it supposed to work. How many hours does he need to put in before he gets the girl? Superhero hours.
Yeah, he shouldn't shoot your load straight away, should you? You need to.
Because didn't Lewis have a long time fancying Superman and just ignoring Dean Cain?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's a TV series. I guess they got.
But Terry, he's right there. The guy he's right there. And did they eventually come round? I don't know.
Oh yeah, they got together. Yeah.
Did they? Yeah.
Hit Girl intro and Big Daddy scenes, I think, are all pretty great. Even though now you've planted the seed of paedophilia. From the intro,
he looks a bit sus.
I mean, he's dodgy. I think that's intentional. So from their intro of him like talking to her all sweetly before he shoots her, to make her ready for things to come. The bowling alley chat and the dialogue around there, where she pretends she wants a dog but really wants a flick knife, like a, what's it called? The fancy knife. What's it called?
It's a flick knife, isn't it?
No, it's not flick knife. It's the.
Yeah, I don't know what the name is. So, yeah.
And then plotting and executing the master plan of kill everyone.
Yeah, just kill everyone. Yeah.
But with a jetpack.
Yeah.
And I've already called out, but the backstory of Big Daddy I thought was great. And
Yeah, so this is one
Builds
of
a
the
little
things
bit
I
of
was going to
pathos.
say. I was laughing a bit about this. I take your point about how they did that. They're sticking very faithfully to the sort of the comic book vibe. Fine, right. My thing with this is they're doing this coming of age thing with the geeky kick-ass, right? Mm-hmm. And they've crossed that with a very real, quote unquote, superhero story, right? And that's over the top, yeah, because they're chopping people's legs off and whatever.
yeah.
Why bother try throw emotional heft in there as well, with his whole backstory, his motivations, and then the Big Daddy hit girl story? Because I thought it was a bit shite that, because you can have whatever backstory you want. We don't need something to work, which is why I come back to Mark Wahlberg would have been a better choice for this, because to me, it's a dumb movie, be unapologetically dumb. Nobody should be questioning, well, if he's not a real superhero because he's just a person, ass kick, why are these guys who are just people, why are we supposed to, why are they actually going to, it doesn't matter. Mark Wahlberg's just going to come in and kick ass and be cool. It's a dumb movie, be unapologetically dumb. That's what I would say. So yeah, I didn't, the sort of that heft of it, the backstory and then their relationship.
I don't actually disagree with you, apart from the fact that I actually did find and I think it was just the way that it was acted by Chloe Grace Moretz, but it was actually quite moving.
Yeah,
like,
she is quite good. Yeah.
She did well with it. But I do actually agree with you that like if you go in for it, go the whole way. Like it could just make it ridiculous. You don't have to add that in. It would maybe be a bit more fun without that having to sort of.
It just comes back to this thing
more
for me. They're trying to cover bases and just trying to make sure that everybody gets it on all levels and there's no holes in it. Don't worry, because we're going to give him a real human motivation that you can get. We don't need it.
And I think it's because they get stuck between a little bit it being a traditional comic book superhero movie, even if it's people without actual powers, and a satire or like a bit of a piss take of it as well. And it's kind of in between those two things where it doesn't really do either of them 100%. So yeah, I think it's on rewatch, as I say, found it a bit less funny and a bit more serious than I remembered. Have you got anything else on plot?
Slim pickings on plot for me.
Okay, we move on to any changes section where each of us comes up with up to 3 changes each. How many do you have, Carl?
I've got 2.
Me too. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So my first one is I would lose the Big Daddy Pedo Leon arc. And actually, in contrast to you, let's have it all about him getting the girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's have that as his resolution for the coming of age thing, and he gets the girl in the end.
Yeah, because it's quite early that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like relatively, it's not.
Yeah.
Because they are together throughout the sort of final third, really.
Yeah. So let's lean into that side of it and lose the hefty or attempted hefty backstory and sort of emotional shite.
Okay, so my number 2 is he shouldn't get the girl.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it's because you want a sequel. What happens in 2?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember anything.
My second one, more production thing. Trim down the set pieces. They're way too long. The ending, especially. There was 1 or 2 where I was literally just going, "Oh my god, is this still going on?" It's just too much of it, and it starts to be because a lot of this is predicated on almost that shock value, that over the top value
Loses the value.
It starts to wear out as well. So trim those down.
So continuing my theme of watching movies this week with problematic endings / endings, which I wasn't a massive fan of.
Oh, it's Big Daddy again. Yeah, but he's dead by the ending.
I don't think you should have Kick-Ass being as competent as he is at the end, where he's operating a jetpack, killing everyone, which he shouldn't be killing anyone, I don't think. I think
Kick-Ass, like he's very much knee-deep in the shit at this point, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not a killer.
Yeah.
Like that's Hit Girl's
We've come a long way
Big
since
Daddy.
Hit Girl going, "Here, this is your cartridge out, your bloody stun gun, you pillock. You're going to get nicked."
Yeah, so...
No, it's like, don't worry about that. Say hello to my little friend.
it felt a bit odd. Like, he shouldn't be that good and go on a goon killing spree. It doesn't make sense. But then it's a comic book movie, so does it need to make sense? I don't.
No, but you get into my frustration with it. It does need to make sense in this world because they've tried to make it make sense. They've tried too hard to make it make sense when they should have just tried to make it as daft as they wanted to.
So it would have been better if it was Hit Girl who was coming in on the jetpack to kill everyone. That's her entrance into it. He's a distraction at first, right? He's getting the shit kicked out of him, and in she comes.
But then you rerun in that earlier scene. That's exactly what happened in the earlier scene, aren't you?
Yeah. So that's probably the reversal they were going for, right? So him saving Hit Girl's ass.
Which again would be fine if you hadn't tried to make it make sense. They've tried too hard to make it make sense.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, maybe just do it in some way where he's not operating a obviously very difficult to operate thing.
Yeah.
Where he kills everyone, but he does something that saves her that is realistically capable of.
Yeah, like a farcical sort of. He ends up managing
something big into something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish things off with This Is Why You're Wrong. A little closing statement from each of us where we try and convince each other and movie those needles.
Just the one needle.
Would you like to go? Would you like to go first or second, Carl?
I'll go first. Why not?
Go for it.
It's just not very funny, mate, which is an issue. And then I think when you start to examine the reasons why it's not quite as fun as it should be, I do think it's a little muddled on the old taking itself seriously and wanting to be sort of overblown and silly. And personally, because I give not a fuck for traditional superhero movies, I would have much preferred this to be unapologetically silly. And it isn't, and it just drags a bit. What about you?
I don't disagree with a lot of what you said there, Carl. Now, admittedly, this was not as good as I remember it being. On rewatch, still had fun with it. It's brashy, it's vulgar, ultra-violent fluff. But, if you're putting your critiquing head on and actually looking at it and analysing it a bit, yes, it's a comic book movie and it leans into that over-the-top violence and the action scenes are pretty good in a way. The music's well used within them. But it just comes back to the funniness.
It's a bit crap in it, mate.
It just comes back to it's not as funny as it needs to be.
No.
And
it's not.
Although there's a few chuckles in it, I wanted it to be funnier.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with you in that I wanted it to lean into more of the crazy, funny, fun part of it and just discount with the...
Yeah, just dispense with some of the more serious stuff.
Yeah. So, I think I'm probably going to have to say that I'm probably going to move down to ambivalent. Oof. It's not bad. There's nothing. There's not even that much that I could say was bad or bad about it. But
it's just not. For
is
you
there
anymore,
enough to
mate.
get it? It's just
It's just not for you anymore, mate.
I'm a bit upset because I think maybe I'm just getting old and boring.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which is a shame.
I was like that in 2010.
Yeah. I got 15-year head start on me. So there we go. So has my needle been moved? Yes. Yes, it has. Has yours, Carl?
Yeah, I really like it. No.
Okay, let's go on to our data section. We'll start.
Can I try and introduce a bit of data?
Yes. Is it data? What you
I
want to
don't know.
introduce?
So
none of this is data, apart from some of the numbers that we try out, but it's not our data.
No, it's true. Yeah.
So we should probably rename the section.
So we can think about. We'll try to define some criteria for classics, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll try build up a bit of a library of movie the needle classics. My other idea is for films that are, if you cross one film with another, what film do you get? No, I think this one. I think you can say you cross Superbad with Shoot 'Em Up.
That's not bad.
You get Kick-Ass, right?
Yeah.
Now we can do other films like that. You can propose one. Maybe we come at this every week. We just propose one every week. I think that's good. What I think would be really cool is if we can build a pyramid.
Build a pyramid.
So if we cross Kick-Ass...
Oh, right, okay. So you want to,
With
and then
something
you go, and
else.
then Kick-Ass with something leads to that. And then,
but if we're going to cross Kick-Ass with something else, we need to first find out what you need to cross to get the something else.
Right. This seems like a lot of work. Are you up for this?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Okay, cool. All right,
So, but we don't have to. We don't have to explicitly go after the pyramid thing. We'll just fit those as we go. You can just bring examples of films you think. Do you know if this film is like a cross between that film, and we'll just keep adding them. And as we build up a bit of a collection, we'll just try fit them together and see if we can't build that pyramid.
All right. And for the hybrid, though, not the hybrid, for the classic.
Yeah.
Sure, it's got to come up naturally in the top threes if it's we're just naming a classic film.
Well, no, maybe. So here's the thing. I was talking about this with a friend, he knows who he is, the other night. And one of the sort of criteria that I think you can sort of apply to this is, has your mum heard of it? Right.
Is that
No. I think there's
one
gonna
of
be,
the criteria?
Yes, I think there's going to be like 3 or 4, 5 criteria that you and let's say you only have to meet like 3 out of 5 or something like that, right? But I think a crucial one is going to be you haven't necessarily. You might really like it, but if your mum hasn't heard of it, then it's not really a classic, has it? Because it's like this cult thing that only geeks know about. You know, I'm not saying maybe your mum's not the right choice. Is she into films?
No.
No? Oh, right.
The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Is that a classic?
No, I don't think that is a classic, no. But,
My parents are not coming off well in this podcast.
But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
I've not even seen it.
I've seen it, it's fine. You'd probably love it.
Yeah, probably would. That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We need to probably workshop this offline.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So we've got our first hybrid anyway, and we might build on that in future.
Yeah. Let's
And
not
then
get bogged
the
down with the
classics thing-
pyramid. We'll just try fit those in later. But yeah, let's
Okay, well, let's get back to our regular programming of data with our ratings.
We should say as well, people feel free to send them in.
What? I mean, literally send anything in.
Yes.
Insults.
Yes. Yeah.
Comments, questions, your
I mean,
top threes.
You say insults, but he's not. He's really not taking it well, boys and girls. Honestly.
The smile's fake, the tears are real.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally do send us in anything we want to hear from you. It's content, isn't it? We're running out of things to say.
I mean, that's been obvious for a long time.
And yet still 2 hours long each episode.
Yeah, I mean, what are we
Amazing.
on for this one? Oh no, well, this one's going to be snappy.
Oh yeah. Okay, so anyway, IMDb rating 7.6. Letterboxd 3.5. So quite a big disparity there. Like,
Yeah, there is a bit,
speaking.
relatively speaking. I would say both of those are way too high.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that's probably where there or thereabouts where I was on initial view. For it's coming down probably to the old 2.5 for me.
I think I'm going to have to go 1.5.
Ooh, harsh.
Yeah.
Metascore 66. So critics kind of liked it.
Yeah, sure. They give this 66, but they give the Santa Claus 20. What the fuck?
No, they like the paedophilia in it, you see. So there's no pedos.
Allegedly, probably, maybe. I
maybe,
don't know.
Is it rewatchable though, Carl? Oh, sorry, I missed out nominations. No. Rewatchable.
I think I'm going to have to say no for rewatchable.
I think I still say yes because I think there is.
You can hate it a little more every time you watch
Pretty
it.
easy, yeah. I'm not saying I would, but I could
Yeah.
rewatch it.
I'm going no rather than very no, but it is a no for me.
Okay. What's your favourite scene, Carl? What's your best scene of
It was a bit of a struggle, but I think I'm settling on Big Daddy teaching Hit Girl how to take a bullet, which is not a euphemism, we assume.
Very good. He uses low velocity rounds.
Let's just move on. What
At
was
least
your
he's not
favourite
shooting
scene?
blanks.
What was your favourite scene?
Although maybe he should be shooting blanks.
What was your
Sorry,
favourite scene?
It was probably it was either one of the big sort of fight scenes, the Big Daddy in a warehouse, or that sounds like a euphemism.
Slinging it about all over the
We've
place.
all
he
been
was.
there.
Yeah.
Less of the big, but or Introduction to Hit Girl at Razzles, where she just turns up. I think it's probably that one because it is literally out of nowhere on first watch. Obviously, you know it's coming with a rewatch, but it is a great introduction, and you're just like, holy shit!
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that. Best quote.
This was easy.
Oh, okay, go on.
I mean, I would give an honourable mention to one that she gives in the scene I just mentioned with Big Daddy, which we won't get into again, because her line delivery is very good when she's like, but I'm happy without taking a bullet or whatever. I can't remember exactly what the quote is, but that was a fun line. But I thought it was fairly clear that the best line in this movie is, "Okay, cunts, let's see what you can do now."
Very good. So I was between two, and this was actually down to Mark Strong's delivery of one of them, where he's just talking to the really big goon, and he just goes, Chris D'Amico comes in and says, "You need to fire this fucking guy," and he goes, "Ignore it." A bazooka? And he just goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
It was just the way he did it. It was very good. But I think my favourite quote is when Kick-Ass asks him, "How do I get hold of you?" And Hit Girl just says, "You just contact the mayor's office. He has a special signal he shines in the sky. It's the shape of a giant cock."
Yeah.
So I quite like that.
Yeah. Classic movie, The Needle fodder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. If it can be used at work, then I'm all for it. Favourite character?
It's a bit of a basic bitch take to go for Hit Girl, isn't it? I wrote down Red Mist, but I don't really believe it. I think it probably is Hit Girl.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's fair. I was between Hit Girl and Big Daddy. I think I would go for Big Daddy. I think Nick Cage does. I appreciate the Nick Cage performance in this.
You've made that abundantly clear.
That is the main difference, I think, of us on this. Is you didn't like the Nick Cage. I did like the Nick Cage. Whenever he's on screen, he is entertaining. I wanted more. I was a bit upset he died because I would have quite liked to see more of him. Tearjerker. Or maybe we get rid of these.
Yeah, we could get rid of these.
Doing the classics.
Tearjerker, no, and I will go at literally anything, mate.
Yeah, fair point. I said no. Although I was slightly moved by the Big Daddy death scene. I think that was literally down to, the fact that I love a daddy, and this one was big.
You want Nick Cage as your daddy now.
Yeah.
And he had that stick on Tash, didn't he?
Indeed.
You love a Tash.
I love a Tash.
Yeah.
He's a daddy with a Tash. I mean, come on. This should be a very really what's our system?
I don't know, mate.
Yeah. Jerker, any gratuitous nudity?
I think very no, aren't we?
Very no, yeah. There's nothing there.
I mean, maybe the teacher's tits at the start with a bit of cleavage.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah.
Nah, that's very no.
Couldn't even see the nipples, could you?
This would have been one of the films, wouldn't it, if they had to put some in, you'd have gone, "What are you doing? That's well out of place."
Yeah, it would feel odd. Okay, so we have our top three. And we have a top three Mark Strong movies, okay? Now, problematic with this one is, as I mentioned, he is not a lead in a lot of things, / anything that I can remember. So this is very much, for me, the favourite films that he's in, rather than, Mark Strong films.
Okay, I've come at this slightly differently.
Where have you come?
So I've got, honourable mentions of 1917, Zero Dark 30, Body of Lies, Syriana, Sherlock Holmes, which I
really enjoy Sherlock Holmes.
Listen, I enjoy all those films. I can't remember Mark Strong in any of them.
No, that's the problem.
He's supposedly in them. I don't remember him in any of them. So my top three is films that I do like, do remember Mark Strong in, and do like.
Okay, number three.
Well, and even this one's stretching it, because in a desperate attempt to appear interesting, I've put Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in. But
do you remember that film?
No, it needs a rewatch. Yeah, because I've seen it.
I remember really liking it when I watched it at the cinema.
I'm the same. Well, I didn't watch it in the cinema. I watched it very close after it came out at home. And it really desperately needs a rewatch. So why not? Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
That was on my just missed out. So my number three is The Guard, which he is not one of the primary two characters in that. He is definitely in it. I remember him in it, but I like that film. It's a good movie. Number two.
My number two is a film I did go to the cinema to watch, and got very swept up in the fun of it. And that is Kingsman.
Yes.
First one.
Yes, good shout. Now, if I am applying your reasoning here, in terms of something I actually remember him, so I went for Zero Dark 30 here. I don't remember him in Zero Dark 30.
No, I don't. It's a good film, though.
I really enjoy the film. But if I'm going for something I actually remember him in, let me just have a quick look here. I would go for... I'm going for Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And the sequel, to be fair. I do. I quite like Sherlock Holmes full stop.
That's Jared Harris, isn't it, in the sequel?
With as being...
Moriarty.
Yeah, Moriarty. I struggled with his name. Yeah, and I even like the TV series with old Cumberbatch.
No, I've not seen that.
It's good stuff. Number one,
You're
Carl.
watching that shit, but you won't watch Mad Men or Sopranos. Unbelievable. Number one. My number one is Rock and Roller.
And my number one is Rock and Roller as well. Yeah, it's
Archie.
really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, he's fun in that.
And he is fun in it. Yeah. It's one I might have to rewatch Rocket. No, I mean it's going to be pretty low down the rewatch list because it's not going to be for the podcast. It's not going to be for Oscars, and it's not going to be for 2024.
Not got time for
maybe at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still upset that he never made the sequels to that because it was
They were
set
talking
up,
about it again
set up
recently.
to be
but
it. That's too long now.
yeah, I think it's too much time
It's all
passed.
gone. But anyway, well there we go. Have you got anything else for us, Carl?
Nope.
All right, well then that's all we've got. So if we move the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does befriend the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, geekier audience. Our Bluesky, Instagram, and Twitter is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle, and you can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please follow and comment wherever you are. So from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
Watching and talking about Kick-Ass, Carl, really got me thinking about a comic book I could write, where the titular superhero, Whiplash, goes against the grumpy, miserable, functional alcoholic supervillain. Let's call him Carlo?
Sure.
Yep. And he has to save the world by changing his opinion, using his superpower of being able to repeatedly bang his head against a brick wall, all with a smile on his face. I mean, it's an early draft, but I think it's got legs.
Okay.